Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Disruption Talks. I'm Maria Achinger and I lead the content and brand team here at Netguru. And I'm delighted to meet Tal Brockmann today. You have on the screen two Tal Brockmans, but that's just a technical glitch. I'm actually speaking to one and only founder and CEO at Finnovest, one of the most interesting wealth tech businesses out there that you're going to get to know a little bit better after today. So, hello, Tal.
Hi, Maria. Very pleased to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Super happy to be able to talk to you again. Tal, you have joined our disruption initiatives in the past. You were a guest at our disruption forum. But today we're going to have a slightly different conversation. I'm happy to be talking to you today because we're going to get to hear about quite disruptive solutions in your space. But we're also going to get to hear about the collaboration between your company and Netguru. We're proud to be partnering with you guys for quite some time now. So let's just start off with the topic that we have in the title for the episode. So basically, we were thinking together how to structure this conversation. And while prepping, you mentioned that there's so many people taking trading advice from TikTok influencers, going to TikTok for advice. And that's a fun fact, but it's actually true. And then there's Finnovest, and then there's company like Finnovest. So if you could just tell us what Finnovest does basically, and how are you unique? Because you like to say that you are unique worldwide.
Yeah, so um, taking advice from TikTok is not only the title. It's a catchy title, but yeah, it's definitely the reality. A few words about Finnovest. Finnovest is the world first end-to-end investment advisory platform that enables professional investment advisors to um, create and disseminate hyper personal investment recommendations to numerous clients simultaneously. And when I say numerous clients, this is the main problem when you're talking about advisory, non discretionary advisor, because each one of the investors is unique. They have their own holdings, their own preferences, their own risk tolerance. And it's really hard to make a general recommendation to all of those clients because they're so different. So this is exactly what Fininvest is doing, enabling professional advisors to disseminate hyper-personal investment recommendations and enabling the investors to receive a proactive investment recommendation from their professional advisor. And not only that it's personal, which means what to buy and what to sell and the rationale behind it, uh, investors can also click one click on their mobile phone to authorize this recommendation. And once they authorize, a proprietary trading model of ours will manage the flow of the orders on behalf of the client to the market. So it's really solving a very unique problem that you have in the advisory space, where generally it's a one-on-one model, where advisors serving one client, suggesting something to buy and something to sell, and then if the client says okay, they will trade for them. So here we are really solving a very structural, infrastructure problem of the one-on-one model, making it possible for professional advisor really to reach out to investors and serve them like nowhere else.
Can you give a little bit more perspective on the uniqueness of it? You're an intermediary. You're in between these
Mhm.
professionals who give out advice and people who want to invest. And why is Finovest this unique business out there?
So it seems really it makes sense to everybody. So you say, okay, you'll send a recommendation and client will authorize. It seems very it makes sense and logical, but there's a very high technology behind it. if you look all across wealth tech, in most cases, you would see automated products that will take all clients as a basket. I mean, if you look at robo advisors, for instance, they will ask you a few questions to understand your risk tolerance. But from this point, you will give the mandate to the portfolio manager, to the robo advisor, and they'll buy and sell whatever they think is right. But if you're a retail investor, okay, and you buy and sell whatever you want because you own your account and you do whatever you want, so by definition, each single investor is different. They have different risk tolerance, different holdings in their portfolio, and different preferences. And when you want to make, as a professional, as an advisor, a recommendation to more than one client, you actually have to take all the circumstances, the real-time data, the preferences, the risk tolerance, the everything together to put a hyper-personal recommendation. Because if I send you, Maria, a recommendation, it will probably look different from another person that holds a different portfolio and have a different risk appetite. So
At least I would hope so.
yeah, well, yeah, you would hope so. And this is, it's funny that you mentioned this because at the end, we have today many solutions that are talking about general recommendations. Okay, you have a lot of analysts, whether it's AI analyst or human analyst or some kind of ranking of stocks and ETFs. So there's no problem of data. Okay, you can go online and see what is recommended to buy or sell, but it's not personal. I mean, how can someone know that if he saw a recommendation, a general recommendation online that says Nvidia is a buy? So, how this investor would know, does it suit their own portfolio? And if he wants to buy or she wants to buy, what should they sell? Do you have so it's never personal. So what you see definitely online is either general recommendations on products and stocks, or an automated solution that you put yourself in a basket and just give your discretion to the advisor, and they manage the flow. So the uniqueness is about really the ability to bridge the gap between professional advisors to the end client. So if you're a brokerage firm or a wealth management firm and you have 100,000 clients or 500,000 clients or a million clients, okay, and today we have giants. Let's talk about Robinhood. You have 25 million clients and you want to
Yeah, how on earth can you cater to them?
yes, I mean,
This
what would you hire a
personalization.
100,000 advisors? It's not possible. So the uniqueness is about really getting to the bottom of each single client and tailoring them 100% in fully compliant. This is a heavily regulated business, so a fully compliant, 100% tailored, and actionable investment recommendation. So this isn't the one point, and at the end, if you get this actionable investment recommendation, we had to solve a problem that we created, which means that if you send, let's say, 1 million investment recommendations to 1 million clients, which says you should sell this stock and buy this stock. And today, when you work with an advisor, usually it's a one on one discussion, whether it's on the phone or in a meeting, the client would say, okay, yeah, just do, I accept, trade this for me. But if you send 1 million recommendations and those 1 million clients would say back, okay, trade for me, there's no one on earth that can actually place the orders on the market. So we solved this with our one tap proprietary trading technology that enables the clients to say, oh, yeah, I see this recommendation, I accept, and press one click to accept the recommendation. And that comes back to us, and we manage the flow automatically to the market through the client's account, of course. So
That's disruption. That's pure disruption.
That's
So
pure.
you have this hyper personalization,
Mhm.
and you have the scale, and you have the time layer. So
Exactly.
it's all immediate.
Exactly. So once you start talking in scale, you must be able to receive the answers because you cannot do it only one hand. Just send the recommendation and say, okay, do it from here. So we're tackling the whole flow, obviously making everything fully compliant. All regulation is done automatically, which is another thing. I mean, we had to tackle so many things along the way to make this, a beautiful user experience. Because it's the end, it's about the user experience. A client receives a recommendation, pluck, and he pressed the button. But to have this one authorization button, you had to solve everything that is broken about the business model and the operation model in investment advisory. And this is exactly what we did.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the actual investor who you're targeting? So the end user of your solution. Um, how is he different? How are they different in comparison to earlier generations?
Yeah, so I mean, retail investors basically they were here forever, since ever. But the truth is that in the last 5, 6, 7 years, let's say, everything is have changed, and it starts from whatever we all as human beings here living in this era living. So it's technology and social media is the foundation of everything. And also in capital markets, now that it's so easy to trade and it's mostly free all over the world and it's so accessible, people start trading. And obviously, COVID had a huge impact on this. And since 2020, we're just seeing every year new records of new investors coming into the market. And those new investors are not like the one we used to know 20 years ago. They are much more curious. They are looking for data, they're comparing data on social media, they're acting together, they're much more interested in the markets, and they're becoming something that you cannot avoid. I mean, from a professional perspective, if you look at the market today, more than 20% of the stock trading in Wall Street is done by retail investors. More than 20%. This is amazing, and this is true.
Massive.
And this is true all over the world. If you look at the amount of accounts opening every month is insane. It's speaking in Israel and it's speaking in Europe. It's speaking in the US and in India. Every single month, new 4 million accounts are opened. This is the number 4 million accounts every month. So there's a lot of new investors that are really involved in capital markets, and they're searching. They're looking for what? Looking for what to invest in. And there's a huge gap here between what they really want and really need and really looking for to what the professional industry can offer them. So, unfortunately, we are having, I mean, unfortunately, maybe it's too much, but there's a gap here. And now TikTok and YouTube and so many social medias and finfluencers, they even have a name. It's finfluencers, like financial influencers that are in most cases not professional, okay, and they just give advice. And it's this advice is not personal, that's for sure, and sometimes very not professional as well. And this gap is something that investors can really make mistakes in because you feel unconfident in what you want to buy or to sell or how to manage your portfolio and your own money that you saved, and you're looking for answers. And today uh, there's no place that actually can provide professional, personal advice to investors, but through our platform. And our platform, I mean, there's a huge success here because of
And
that.
you've seen growth, and you've seen growth. You're seeing growth all the time, right now, regionally. But I know that you have ambitious expansion plans. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on. Um, let's hear about that success, because this is truly amazing. And let's talk assets. Basically, how much in client assets are you handling?
So for now, we have over 15 billion US dollars on the platform, which is very nice. And the truth is, we do see growth all the time. And if you compare it to what people have today, it's kind of an easy thing to offer clients. What would you say? Would you rather? Don't get recommendations at all, or look for social media for someone you don't know to get some general recommendation? Or would you like to get a hyper personal investment recommendation directly to your phone and just authorize with a click? So obviously the answer is really clear here. So for the clients, they do not know about the high technology that we use and the problems that we had to solve and automating all regulatory and automating the trading part. All this doesn't matter to the investors. All they care about, oh, I got a recommendation, one click, and they authorize it. So it's all about the customer experience. And this is why we see this growth. This is why a lot of people really enjoy having their advisors using our platform.
Give me a little bit more context here when it comes to authorization. I bet you have you're tracking it. What's the rate? What's the authorization rate in your
So the
case?
authorization rate is almost unbelievable. It's more than 40% of clients that actually open recommendation that they press the authorization button, which means it's almost one in two investors that will accept the recommendation. And when you're talking about your own money, it's not really surprising. I mean, it's not like going on e-commerce and saying, getting a recommendation on if you bought this blue dress, you probably would like the red one as well. It's a bit different. It's about your saving, it's about your money, and it's coming from someone you trust. This is a professional advisor that actually looked in your portfolio and have something to say to you, saying, I think you should do something a little bit different. So, this mixture of trust, professional advisor, and personal money is magical. And this is why we have this conversion rate, which is not about actually placing more trades, it's about actually uh, executing a recommendation that is good for me as an investor. So, those are
Acting on good advice, basically.
exactly. And advisors, advisors have the fiduciary that have to be on the side of the client, and so they're looking for the best products, looking for the best securities. They have research departments, and everything is very professional, like it was till today. But until today, it was only saved for uh, let's say for the high net worth individuals, because it wasn't economical to operate this kind of advisory for retail. But when everything is automated, so it's not about the economics, and again, so they have the professional data, they can just spread it out in really, really easy. And now it's open for retail investors that probably are not high net worth by now.
But you had a vision. You had quite a vision back in the day, uh, and I'm thinking it was early on that we came into the picture as a support in software, right? Because you have an idea, but at some point you just need to make it concrete.
Yeah.
You need these boots on the ground, like how you called it back in the day. So tell us a little bit more how Netguru came into the picture.
Well, and the truth is that, you know, unlike being a B2C company, uh, well, where you have to, have these operations of serving the end clients, and it's a lot of operations which needs a lot of investments, a lot of money to do so. When you're a B2B company, you have big clients, banks, brokerage firms, wealth management firms. They are big and heavy clients, and the truth is that for us, having remaining a small company, but having an endless support from a big technology firm like Netguru, for us was the best collaboration, because there's no. I mean, if you look at a small company, they say, okay, how they're going to do this giant integration process? How going to have new features on their platform? And the truth is that, we're really trying to have the core technology within Finovest, because this is our engineers and algorithmic people, which are basically the best top tier that we have. And then, there's many things that you have to do around the technology, and this is something that the collaboration with a big technology firm like Netguru came really handy for Finovest, because in 1 second we can add 20 more people to work on our project if needed, and just expand when we need, and then according to each project we have everything that we need. So for us, uh, this is an amazing journey with you guys.
How did you come to the decision? I'm just wondering, because there are tons of companies like us,
Yeah.
and it's really interesting for me to understand why we were a good fit, basically.
So the truth is, like always in life, it's about trust, and about who you trust. And we got a recommendation from someone we know from the tech industry, that just said, there are, in these words, there are a great company. They will help you with whatever you need. So we tried, and this is the truth. And we saw it. We can get help, whether it's regulation or design or development or everything. So obviously, this is something that for us is a lot. And as I said, it's about someone you trust that will say. It's exactly like in our platform. The banks that we work with are asking their clients if they like our product, if they like the Finovest platform, and at the end, you have this NPS questionnaire, and at the end, it comes down to whether would you recommend or not to a friend or family to go with this company. So it's exactly like we see in our results, which are great. It's exactly the same here.
Based on this collaboration, um, I'm thinking, can you give out our viewers and later listeners any tips when it comes to collaborating with a partner? Things that you did right with us that worked fine, that can others can replicate, basically.
Well, I think this is really something that each company has its own struggles and their own, strengths and weaknesses. It's about really understanding where your startup is strong and where it's less, let's say. And, taking those weaknesses outside to a company that you trust is a win-win, because we are a profitable small startup. And for us, it was very important to be profitable and not to depend on external money. So at the end, it's about this. I mean, having the ability to grow in 20 or 30 people if needed, and come back down to our numbers. This is something that I think that every startup should think about. where your strong capabilities, take it into the firm, obviously, but the places where you need a little help, it might come handy to use external help.
Mm. Partnerships matter now more than ever before. I mean, wherever you look, not just in technology, in business in general. And I know that you're also thinking about partnerships when thinking about the future. You've been planned. So talk a little bit about the plans ahead.
Yeah, so definitely, I said before, the retail investment landscape is changing. And what we see here in Israel, it's the tip of the iceberg. This phenomena is global and it's happening everywhere. And exactly as we change the advisory landscape here in Israel, we really want to do it in other geographies. And the truth is that we are looking for a good partner to do this. So a good partner would be someone that can really take our platform and scale it. And this could be integration partners like you guys. That could be a bank. That could be a brokerage firm. Anyone that is really into uh, engaging with retail investors, because as we see it in Finnovest, retail investors are the future of banking. And if you take this population that now trade with not a lot of money and think about what's going to happen in the next 10 years, it's really, really clear to us that these young men and women, which basically are not always that young. I mean, it's from 18 to 40, 45. This is the numbers. But if you're looking at 10 years from now, it's so clear that everything will be around investing. So once you get those clients and you engage with those clients and give them what they want, and not talking about from the first day about long-term investments, which are really, really important, but they are looking for the short-term, the non-taxable accounts. And if you can capture this segment of clients, uh, definitely you can serve those clients when their needs will evolve. And that means long-term investments and savings and other banking products. And it's all around that. And you can see this starting to happen. Even Robinhood now enters the advisory space because they understand that their client needs some uh, more services. So I really think that every every institution, every financial institution that is looking at the strategic move of retail investors should have them engaged. Should have them in some way trust them because it's going to be beneficial from both sides. For the financial institution, obviously they can sell much more products, and for the retail investors, they will get exactly what they want, hyper personal investment recommendations. So we are looking for someone that really looks at this strategic move and wants to engage with retail investors. That definitely we would be the first phone call they have to pick.
Fingers crossed,
Yeah.
big time, Tal. I'm hoping that the next episode we're gonna have is gonna be about rapid scaling of the business and how to do it right.
Yeah.
Uh, we have had in the past episodes as such, so I'm really hoping this is the next conversation we're gonna have. Mm. I love to hear some finally some good news coming from your part of the world
Yeah.
recently. So fingers crossed
Finger
for that
crossed.
too.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Fantastic conversation. Thank you, Tal.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining our disruptive talks about disruptive businesses. And yeah, all the best for the future.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Maria, and all the team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.